Hi, I'm Martina and today I'm looking at some abandoned infrastructure in Birmingham. In Bawdsley or Derrytend or Duddeston or Digbeth or Camp Hill or whatever this area is, the council call it East Side, which is the worst option of all. This is Bawdsley Railway Station on the Chiltern Line into Birmingham Moor Street. The entrance is hiding under this bridge like a troll. There it is. Up some stairs and here are the trains. Well, train. There's only one train per week stopping here, at 13:56 on a Saturday. All the other trains pass through. The one train is what's known as a parliamentary train. The station is basically closed, but to actually close it would involve a lot of legal paperwork, so one train per week calls just as a fig leaf to say it's still officially open. The line towards Birmingham Centre splits here, with the Duddeston Viaduct curving north towards the former Curzon Street station, which I talked about in a previous video. Check that out if you haven't seen it. The viaduct today is abandoned, and always was. It never reached Curzon Street. Even when it was built, it was intended as a legal fig leaf, like Bawdsley Station today. I'll summarise this as much as possible. In the previous video about Curzon Street, I mentioned it was built by two rival companies, the Grand Junction Railway and the London Birmingham Railway, and they were at first two separate stations next to each other without connecting. The Duddeston Viaduct is from those early days. Lots of other railway companies quickly started building lines everywhere, competing with each other, including the Birmingham and Oxford Junction Railway, who built this viaduct. They were a subsidiary of the Great Western. They were hoping to compete with the London and Birmingham, building a parallel route and hoping to connect with the Grand Junction Railway. The London and Birmingham didn't appreciate this and schemed for the Act of Parliament to specify connection with the GJR using this viaduct here, crossing the LBR on the level, which they refused to allow, making the viaduct a money-wasting scheme. Not long after, the LBR and GJR merged with each other anyway and built New Street. The GWR built Moor Street and Snow Hill as their Birmingham stations, and the rest is history. The Duddeston Viaduct was used as sidings. I did see a source that reckoned cattle were driven along it from Bawdsley to the cattle markets at the northern end. This was entirely an industrial part of town until a few decades ago. Since then there have been repeated efforts to make this an edgy, gentrified creative quarter. It's half worked. There's a television production company here, as well as art studios and new media types. There's nothing worse than new media types. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Unlike Derrytend proper south of the High Street, not many flats have been built here, yet. Almost 2,000 flats are planned here, and also converting the viaduct into a sky park. There's no interest in using it for trains. New Street is congested enough without any more traffic. A new railway viaduct is planned though, the Camp Hill Chord, allowing trains to call at Moor Street from new stations at Moseley and Kings Heath, long promised by the Mayor. Maybe that could resurrect Bawdsley Station. The tram is also being built along the High Street, formerly an important through road, now completely cut off at one end for general traffic. At the moment this area can be horrible to get to, but hopefully that will change. Will it work? Let me know in the comments. I've been Martina, and thank you for looking at things with me.